I am Jason and this is Professor Sports Cards, and in this video we're going to discuss the most important running back cards of all time. Running back is one of the most exciting positions in all of sports, and the card prices, collections, they just don't get the same love as other, you consider star NBA players, MLB players, or quarterbacks. So in this video, we're going to take a look at some of the best running backs of all time, dive into their cards, and where they rank. So here we're looking at the all-time rushing leaders, most yards ever gained by a running back or in general in the NFL. Emmitt Smith sits at 1, followed by Walter Payton. You're going to see many guys from this list on this very video coming up. And first we have to discuss Emmitt Smith. He sits on top of the rushing leaders, number 1 overall. ESPN ranked the running backs all time, and they ranked him at number 11. He also sits number 1 all time in rushing touchdowns. Now, one guy you'll notice before we move on is Derrick Henry makes both these lists, the only active player on those lists. Emmitt Smith played 15 seasons. He started 15 seasons. That is incredibly rare for a running back to be that durable, have that many good years. I think most people would say they've seen better running backs, but Emmitt Smith is, well, he's the definition of an Iron Man. This is his most expensive rookie. In a PSA 10, it's a score supplemental. There's 813, and it's selling for $1,300. Before we move on to ESPN's top 10 running backs, Marshall Faulk took 12th and Adrian Peterson took 14th on their list, and I have to concur, they're two of the best running backs I've ever seen. Adrian Peterson's best rookie card, I'd say, is this Topps Chrome in a PSA 10 refractor. Refractors have held popularity as they age. They're just 174 in a PSA 10. Currently selling for under $200. I'm not saying it's a steal, but it seems like a good price for a PSA 10 refractor in limited quantity. Marshall Faulk's 1994 SP, there's 654 in a PSA 10, and it's currently selling for $130. Now on to 3 running backs that are still currently playing. They didn't make ESPN's 10 list. Saquon Barkley, who just had an incredible season, the King Derrick Henry, and Christian McCaffrey. If we take a deeper dive into their stats, this is their whole careers here, and you can see Derrick Henry dominating, but he's also played the longest. He's been in the league the longest, but he has, quite a bit more yards and touchdowns we're looking at than everyone else. So then here, this is just 2018 forward. Saquon Barkley came in the league in 2018, McCaffrey 2017. You can still see in this time span, Derrick Henry is far and above better stats than either of these guys. So while we have recency bias towards Saquon, Derrick Henry has been the king when it comes to running backs of the last decade. If we take a look at his 2016 rookie card, Prism, the Prisms that year all came silver in rookie. So it is a pop count of 391 in a PSA 10. It's currently selling for roughly $300 for the king of the decade. Everyone else on this list was ranked in ESPN's top 10 running backs of all time. Now, O.J. Simpson card tells a different story than most sports cards. His rookie's 1970. The best grade is a PSA 9. There's only 119 of them, and it's currently selling for $4,400. In a PSA 8, there is over 600 copies, and it's selling for right around $600. And if you want a piece of this type of history without breaking the bank, a PSA 5 is just over $100, and anything under a PSA 5 you can get an O.J. Simpson rookie for under $100.
I got it up to about 170 miles an hour.
Give me your license. Give me your license right now.
After O.J. Simpson won the Heisman Trophy in 1968 and was named NFL Player of the Year in 1973, after O.J. starred in multiple Hollywood films, including Towering Inferno and the Naked Gun trilogy, as well as the miniseries Roots.
Tony Dorsett played for America's team, the Cowboys, for a decade, going to 4 Pro Bowls and winning 1 Super Bowl with the Cowboys. He rushed for over 12,000 yards in his career. And in a PSA 10, there are just 13 in that grade. And of his rookie card, 1978 Topps. The last sale was on April 25th, 2022, and it sold for $30,000. In a PSA 9, this card drops drastically in price. In a PSA 9, there's less than 400, and you get it for just under $1,000. And in a PSA 7, if you don't want to break the bank, you can get this card in your collection for under $50. That's pretty incredible.
And in motion goes Jay Saldy. And there goes Tony Dorsett. Riding into Herman Edwards. Look out, going to outrun Edwards and go away.
Coming in next is Earl Campbell, ranked the 8th all-time in ESPN's list. He led the league in rushing 3 times and rushing touchdowns twice. His PSA 10 rookie card, there's only 30 of them. 1979 tops, and it's currently selling for $20,000. The last sale sold for $19,000 in February 6, 2021. It's been a while since we've seen a sale on one of these cards. In a PSA 9, the price drops dramatically. If you want it in your collection, there are 462, and it's selling for $560. That sale was recently, just a couple weeks ago. And finally, in a PSA 8, the card drops to under $100 if you want this Hall of Fame running back rookie card in your collection.
The total package, 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro, and even a league MVP. Earl Campbell was special. In his powder blue number 34 jersey, highly sought after by sports memorabilia fans. Earl Campbell, he was a monster.
I have no idea how Barry Sanders made the 7th best running back of all time. He's the best running back I've ever seen. I feel like he's the top 3 in any list. He has several rookie cards, the score on top being probably the most sought after, the pro set at the bottom, and in the middle there's tops traded, and we might be even missing 1 or 2 rookie cards right there. Again, his most sought after is the score, and in a PSA 10 there's over 2,500, so it's not relatively rare. However, it's $1,300, showing you there's demand for Barry Sanders because he's the best running back anyone born after 1985 has ever seen.
Barry Sanders.
The best of all time.
Is he the greatest of all time or the best of all time? He's the GOAT, or is he the
I know, he's the GOAT. I think he's the GOAT because he ran as many yards east and west as he did north and south. And so
I wish they would have had GPS monitors back then to see his run chart. 6-yard run, 46 yards. Like a badass, like a 3rd and 4.
A 3rd and 4, right, exactly. And that took a minute and a half off the clock. Right?
6 on ESPN's list of best running backs of all time is Eric Dickerson, one of the fastest running backs to ever play the position. In a PSA 10, his rookie cards from 1984 tops, and there's just 141 in a PSA 10. It last sold just recently, 3 weeks ago, for just over $5,000. And in a PSA 9, well, you can get this card in your collection for $100. So if you want Eric Dickerson, the 6th best running back of all time according to ESPN, you can get his rookie card in a PSA 9 for just $100.
About not being able to see, not having vision. None of that showed up in your game.
You know, people always say that, guy, he has great vision, But running back, it's not about the vision. It's about feel. Like, when I'm playing, I could feel a guy come in here. And one thing I did have, I had great peripheral vision. Did a test on me. My peripheral vision was great. I just couldn't see straight ahead. I would make a cut because I felt him. How'd you see him? I didn't see him. I felt him. One thing was I was big. I was 6'3", 225, and I was fast. There's no substitute for speed. I'll put my speed against anybody.
Now, for as great as LaDainian Tomlinson was, there's no way I rank him ahead of Barry Sanders. However, he's an all-time great. They have him ranked 5th all-time. I would say this is his best rookie card, Topps Chrome Refractor. Their numbers are just 999, and in a PSA 10, there's only 18 of them. It hasn't sold since August 2023, and the sales price was a hefty price. Topps Chrome is a staple premium product. This is the refractor. They age well. There's only 18, and it sold for $4,200 back in 2023. In a PSA 9, it's still pretty rare, just 148 copies, and that's why it holds a decent price of $800. That sale was more recent in December of 2024.
Did you know many say this is the greatest all-purpose back in NFL history? His name, LaDainian Tomlinson, and he spent his best years playing for the San Diego Chargers in the early 2000s. And when I say this guy could do everything at the running back position, I too mean everything. Terrific runner, great pass catcher, could block. Heck, he even threw the ball for them as well. See, one season, he had 100 catches to go along with his 1,600 yards on the ground. Elite production. He's also known for his ability to dive into the end zone. I think he had a 40-inch vertical, man. LaDainian Tomlinson. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Bo Knows was one of the best sports campaigns of all time, but he only played NFL football from 1987 to 1990 due to injury. However, based off those few years, they have him ranked at 4. Again, how do you have Bo over Barry Sanders? Bo Jackson, one of the best athletes of all time, and here, one of the best running backs of all time. In a PSA 10, his 1988 top super rookie card is selling for $1,600, and there's a pop count of 598. So this card is in demand. Bo Jackson, one of the, kind of transcends sports almost, and is known as one of the best athletes of all time, being a football and baseball player. Same card in the PSA 9 has almost 5,000 in pop count, and it's selling for less than $100. The last sale February 9th, 2025 for just $65 to put in your collection.
And Bo Jackson to the 20 and out in front, and only one man to beat, and Beasley can't run him down. He had the angle, but there goes Bo, and nobody catches Bo. Touchdown. He may not stop Tacoma.
ESPN ranks Gale Sayers the 3rd best running back of all time. I can't argue it. This was my dad's favorite player growing up. He also, like Bo Jackson, had a shortened career due to injury, playing from 1965 to 1971. Sayers' rookie card is 1966 Philadelphia in a PSA 9. It lasts over $30,000. This is a recent sale, January 31st, 2025. There's a pop count of just 36 of them. In the PSA 7, the price falls dramatically. There's 537 of them, and it's selling for just $800 if you want to put in your collection. And furthermore, in a PSA 3, well, it's selling for just over $100. So you can get this Hall of Fame running back, ranked 3rd all time for ESPN's rookie card, in limited pop count for $100. The number 2 running back on ESPN's list is no surprise Walter Payton, and his rookie card is sought after. The 1976 Topps Walter Payton rookie card is one of the most iconic football cards of all time. In a PSA 10, there's just 56 of them. It sold in December of 2024 for $66,000. In a PSA 9, there's slightly more copies at 741. It's still going to cost you $4,500 to put that PSA 9 in your collection. However, as the grade gets lower, it becomes somewhat more affordable. In a PSA 8, you're looking at $1,100. Now, it's no longer as rare, though. There's over 3,000 copies in a PSA 8. And if you want this iconic card in your collection without breaking the bank, PSA 3 is selling for $200. It's reasonable.
Ricochets off Ronnie Lott.
No one performed with more class. He became the model.
Walter Payton shows why he should be the most expensive back in all of professional football.
The number 1 running back of all time might be the best NFL player of all time, Jim Brown, and his rookie card is probably the most iconic football card that's out there. The best grade is a PSA 9, and there's only 6 of them, and it sold back in 2017. There hasn't been a sale in, 8 years now for over $300,000. This card probably sells for more if sold today. In a PSA 8, it's still pretty rare with just 200 copies, and it last sold January 11th, 2025 for $22,000. In a PSA 6, the pop count's getting a little more regular, higher, less rare, 868. Sold for $2,000 on January 27, 2025. So it's an obtainable card in a PSA 6. It'll still cost you a pretty penny. In the other 2 grades we looked at, it's just not realistic for most of us. And finally, in a PSA 2, this card last sold for $630 here in February 2025. So for under $1,000, you can get the most iconic football card to ever be printed of maybe the best NFL player of all time.
Faster than a speeding bullet. More powerful than a locomotive. Able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. The pro game in the pop age had a number of superstars, but only one Superman, and he was Jim Brown.
If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, Subscribe if you have not. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.
Everybody, this is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.